My name is Ken Turner and I'm 98 years old and I've served in the British Army in World War II, as did this Sherman tank. I'm old enough to have seen fascism the first time around. Now it's coming back. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, is using his immense power to support the far right in Europe. And his money comes from Tesla cars. Well, I've got this message from Mr. Musk. We've crushed fascism before, and we'll crush it again. So let's go, shall we? Let's go.
Tiri posted that in the Discord a couple of minutes ago, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, we watching that. We watching those. Let's go, boys. All right. All right, so don't worry. We're going to finish watching the fascist downfall of Steve McRae soon. We'll pick up the part 2 of that next week. Yeah. Day is it? It's Thursday, right? Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed Debate Hub. I thought it was pretty cool. Sam's a pretty cool guy. We had a good time, even though we were talking about some serious shit. There's a new Pope, Leo, or whatever the fuck. I don't care. Fuck the Pope. I don't give a shit. Hopefully he does a better job than the last one. The last Pope was pretty good as far as popes are concerned, I guess. The bar's pretty low, but speaking of a low as fuck bar, Carney went and visited Trump. And if anybody is unaware, the bar was set super duper low. Carney himself saying, do not expect white smoke. He does not expect to have a deal or to have made a deal. This is just their first meeting. So he's basically just going to establish that that America and Canada are in fact, and indeed Trump and Carney are in fact, talking to each other and have now officially met in the capacities of their jobs. Now, from my understanding, this is Trump's second time in office, and Carney is on his first time in office as a politician. Trump has been a politician now since, I guess, at least 2015, and it is now 2025, so he's got at least 10 years of experience in as a politician, whereas Carney, this is his first time even being a politician. It is not his first time on the world stage. It is not his first time dealing with crises. His CV is actually quite impressive, but man, all I gotta say is I am so relieved that we voted for Carney instead of Polyev, because I would have felt like I had so much egg and pie on my face when talking about American politics and talking about how stupid fucking Americans were for voting in Trump, because if we voted in Polyev, I would have been like, no, we're just as fucking stupid. There's a lot going on between Alberta and First Nations, and I shouldn't really separate those things out. I should say the conservative Danielle Smith and First Nations, and I do want to talk about that, but I think we're going to save that for Debate Pub at the end of the month, which is on the 31st. So the 31st is going to be Debate Pub over on Debate Hub Official. If you go and follow us over there, we're probably going to talk about that over there. There's also going to be ongoing all of my fucking coverage that you would have watched here for our conservative Project 2025. Part 2 of that is coming out today starting at 4 p.m. and it's a premiere, so if you want to go and hang out and just chat. So let's watch this interaction I also have the press of him speaking after the fact, after their luncheon. But I to be a fly on the wall, during the luncheon would be crazy. So get out of here. All right, are you guys ready? Let's go. Let's get into this. He's so awkward. He can't stand still, dude. Why is he like this? He's such an old, awkward grandpa. What the fuck? Why? Trump not pulling off the particular weird fucky pulley handshake that he likes to do.
President, are you close to a trade deal?
As you meet the new Prime Minister, sir.
Are you close to a trade deal? Alright, well, there we go. Hi, okay. Alright, I need to talk about this for a second, because this actually gets to me, and I don't know why this bothers me as much as it does. Why is the Oval Office, or I guess this isn't the Oval Office, this press room so gaudy? Like, what is this? What is going on here? Did it look like this when Obama was the president? Like, did it have, like, this fugly ass fucking nonsense going on? Like, what the fuck? This looks like something like in a video game. Like, it looks so gaudy. Why is there a plane here? I really don't know if America wants to call up and make people think about all the planes that are fucking crashing. Like, what? It's so bad. It's so tacky looking. Eagles like in the Third Reich.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor to have Prime Minister Mark Carney with us. As you know, just a few days ago, he won a very big election in Canada. And I think I was probably the greatest thing that happened to him, but I can't take vote credit.
I can't take both. The first thing that he does is try to take credit for Carney's win. And look at Carney, the first face. Okay, so I've seen this face. I've seen this face memed around. And like I didn't realize it was like the first thing he did.
It's a great honor to have Prime Minister Mark Carney with us. As you know, just a few days ago, he won a very big election in Canada. And I think I was probably the greatest thing that happened to him, but I can't take
I didn't realize it was the first face he fucking made. Oh no, that's so funny. In all fairness, Trump's behavior and his election and what he's done both to Canada and to Americans very much had an effect on our elections. Had he not done what he did, the election would have been a lot closer. Like, a lot closer. I don't know if Polyev would have won. He would have had a way better chance of winning, but oh my god. Oh my god. The first thing is him making that face of her Trump trying to take credit for the Canadian election. Oh, okay. Alright. Buckle up. Let's get in the mindset. Let's... Oh boy.
His party was losing by a lot, and he ended up winning, so I really want to congratulate him. It was probably one of the greatest comebacks in the history of politics. Maybe
actually, that's true. That the turnaround, that's accurate. I think Trump actually got this. The nail is on the head of that one. He actually gets that right. This is one of the biggest turnarounds in Canadian history. I don't know how happy Trump is actually about it, but I also don't care about his feelings. So
even greater than mine, you know. But I want to just congratulate you. That was a great election, actually. We were watching it with interest, and I think Canada chose a very talented person, a very good person, because we spoke before the election quite a few times. And it's an honor to have you at the White House and the Oval Office. And you see the new and improved Oval Office.
Oh, God. I didn't think that Trump was going to answer my question. Yeah, he made it ugly. Okay. Thanks.
It becomes more and more beautiful with love. You know, we handle it with great love. And 24 karat gold, that always helps too, right? But it's...
What? You're talking about waste, fraud, and abuse in the government, and you're now telling everybody that you've lined the Oval Office with 24 karat gold and telling people that, oh, they're not allowed to have $30 or 200 pencils anymore. They have to have $2 and, I don't know, 5 pencils? What are you talking about? People in America are suffering greatly, and you're fucking redecorating the Oval Office with 24 karat ugly ass shit? I don't think that's true. I don't think all of this shit is 24 karat gold. I think that's a lie. I don't think that's true, but just the spitting in the face of, like, just the American people and the American workers is pretty fucking disgusting. But, you know, okay.
It's been a lot of fun. We're going over some of the beautiful pictures that were stored in the vaults that were for many, many years, in some cases over 100 years. They were stored in vaults of the great presidents, or almost great presidents, all having a
almost great presidents? No. Isn't Trump like a petty bitch who refuses to put Obama's portrait up?
Reason for being up, every one of them. So it's very interesting. But I just want to congratulate you, and ran a really great race. I watched the debate. I thought you were excellent, and I think we have a lot of things in common. We have some tough points to go over, and that'll be fine. We're going to also be discussing Ukraine, Russia, the war, because Mark wants it ended as quickly as I do. I think it has to end. We had some very good news last night. The Houthis have...
I do not know how much Trump actually knows or understands Canada's involvement in Ukraine. Canada has been heftily invested in the war with Ukraine. Heftily invested. Like, I'm not talking peanuts here. And, like, there's a lot going on. There's also, like, it's not happening yet, but I suspect, again, I'm just a goblin, what do I know? I suspect we are going to see military contract construction, like building in Canada for things that are going to be shipped to Ukraine. I suspect. Hey, April.
Announced that they are not, or they've announced to us at least, that they don't want to fight anymore. They just don't want to fight. And we will honor that. And we will stop the bombings. And
all right, so how long, guys? Take your bets. How long before Trump bombs the shit out of Yemen again?
They have capitulated, but more importantly, we will take their word. They say they will not be blowing up ships anymore. And that's what the purpose of what we were doing. So that's just news. We just found out about that. So I think that's very, very positive. They were knocking out a lot of ships going, as you know, sailing beautifully down the various seas. It wasn't just the canal. It was a lot of other places. And I will accept their word, and we are going to stop the bombing of the Houthis, effective immediately. And Marco, you'll let everybody know that, okay? Do you have something?
Is Margot sitting, like, trying to disappear into the couch again?
To say about that, by the way? It's a pretty big announcement.
Yeah, this was always a freedom of navigation mission. These are, a band of individuals with advanced weaponry that were threatening global shipping.
God, Mark, don't shake hands with J.D. Vance. He might suck your energy out and kill you. Like he did to the Pope, definitely.
Job us to get that to stop. And if it's going to stop, then we can stop. And I think it's an important development.
And we'll have maybe before we're going to, as you know, the Middle East, Saudi Arabia. We're going to UAE and Qatar. And that'll be, I guess, Monday night. Some of you are coming with us. I think before then, we're going to have a very, very big announcement to make. Like, as big as it...
Carney is listening way more attentively than I am. I'm just like, bro, what the fuck is this man even fucking talking about? What is this? Unbelievable. Good God.
It gets, and I won't tell you on what, but it's going to, and it's very positive. I'd tell you if it was negative or positive. I can't keep that out. It is really, really positive. And that announcement will be made either Thursday or Friday or Monday before we leave. But it'll be one of the most important announcements that have been made in many years about a certain subject, very important subject. So you'll all be here. Mark, would you like to say a few words?
I have this big announcement. It's really, really important, but I can't tell you right now. It's a big secret. Don't look at the signal chat, everyone. What the fuck? All right, Mark, what do you got for us? See how he does.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm on the edge of my seat, actually, for the big announcement. But thank you for your hospitality and above all, for your leadership. You're a transfer.
Thanking Trump at this point just feels dirty to me. Like, I know it's the normal thing that everyone always said at the beginning, but ever since Zelensky, it just feels dirty. And I know, like, Macron and Starmer and Carney all starting off with, oh, thanks for having me, is like super duper fucking normal. And like even Zelensky was like, hi, thanks for having me, I appreciate being here, and like da 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 da. And like but ever since Zelensky, just saying thanks feels like just normal politeness, just feels icky around Trump to me. Does anybody else feel that way? Is that just me? Like, general politeness around Trump just feels wrong now. I don't know, man.
President, I'm on the edge of my seat, actually, for the big announcement. But thank you for your hospitality and above all, for your leadership. You're a transformational president, focus on the economy with a relentless focus on the American worker, securing your borders, ending the scourge of fentanyl, and other opioids, and securing the world. And I've been elected with my colleagues here.
Brother, all he did was just list a bunch of shit that Trump promised that he's been failing to do for over 100 days. And I don't know if this is actually, like, stroking ego. Maybe. This might be throwing shade. The first one was definitely shade. The transformational president, that's shade. Calling Trump transformational? He's just listing stuff that Trump talked about on the campaign trail, basically. And it's like, you're a transformational president. Yep.
Economy with a relentless focus.
Is he? You think they're gonna get mad that calling Trump trans? That's exactly what I was about to say. It's like, you think he's gonna get mad for calling him trans? There's gonna be Trumpers fucking watching this, and they're gonna get on their phones while they're driving their fucking trucks, and they're gonna be like, Carney called Trump trans! Oh my god. You'll notice that Mark Carney didn't actually list anything that Trump has done, just things that so he's called him a transformational president, and then said he has a focus on these things, not that he's actually done anything.
Focus on the American worker, securing your borders, ending the scourge of fentanyl, and other opioids, and securing the world. And I've been elected with my colleagues here, with the help of my colleagues here. I'm going to spread the credit.
Oh, and there you have like I wonder how on purpose that was. Trump tried to make everything about himself, and then immediately in response, Carney was like, I'm gonna spread the credit around to the people that supported me to get us elected. Like, just the juxtaposition, and I think, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I think that there's, like, a degree here of Carney wants to look as opposite to Trump as possible. Like, he wants to be a complete juxtaposition. He wants to be calm, he wants to be precise, he wants to be short with his words. He wants to let Trump ramble and sound incoherent. He wants to let Trump act like he's the most important fucking person on the planet and that everything has to do with him, and Carney's going to be humble and put credit to other people. So it, like, he's here to look like he's different.
To transform Canada. With a similar focus on the economy, securing our borders, again on fentanyl, much greater focus on defense and security, securing the Arctic and developing the Arctic. And the history of Canada and the U.S. is we're stronger when we work together, and there's many opportunities to work together. And I look forward to, addressing some of those issues that we have, but also finding those areas of mutual cooperation so we can move forward.
Yeah. So that is Carney saying, old deals are over. Let's focus on what we want to do in the future and what things can we work together on, which tracks. That makes sense.
Very nice. Thank you very much. It's a very nice statement.
And again, Trump did not get to do his weird little pulley-in thing. Oh my god, look at Carney's face. Hold on, I'm going to put that back. Look at Carney's face.
That's great. Very nice. Thank you very much. It's a very nice statement. Anybody?
He's fucking doing that smirky little shit face because he knows he just fucking dissed him.
Is USMCA dead?
No, it was actually very effective, and it's still very effective, but people have to follow it. So, that's been a problem. People haven't followed it. But it was a transitional step a little bit. And as you know, it terminates fairly
He's trans,
quickly.
look out!
It gets renegotiated very shortly.
Terminates? You mean it's aborted?
I thought it was a very positive step from NAFTA. NAFTA was the worst trade deal in the history of our country, probably in the history of the world. And this was a transitional deal, and we'll see what happens. We're going to be starting to possibly renegotiate that if it's even necessary. I don't know that it's necessary anymore, but it served a very good purpose. And the biggest purpose it served is we got rid of NAFTA. NAFTA was a very unfair deal for the United States. Very, very terrible deal. It should have never been made. It was made many years ago, but it should have.
So Trump is rewording what he had said before to say, because he said that the deal between Canada, Mexico, and the United States that he signed on to was the worst deal in history. Now he's saying, no, that was just a transitional deal. It was actually NAFTA that was the real big bad deal.
Never been made.
Canada and the United States. Would you like to see your first trade deal be with Canada? Our neighbors in the world?
I would love that. Look,
Okay, I don't know if you guys know how funny that question is. Trump has already said he had, made deals and was, got called by 200 countries, and there's not 200 countries on the planet. So, he hasn't gotten, and they were like, oh, we're gonna get one deal a day, 99 deals in 99 days, doesn't have a single fucking deal. He just now talked about that, today, because this is from 2 days ago. Just today, there's supposedly a deal going on between the UK and the United States.
I have a lot of respect for this man, and I watched him come up, in a sense, through the ranks when he wasn't given much of a chance, and he ran a really great campaign. He did a really
What? How? I just need a button. Wrong. Carney hasn't been in politics. He didn't rise up through the ranks. He's not a politician. He's never been a politician. He was already at the top of his fucking field, and then he fucking transitioned into fucking politics. He didn't rise through the ranks at all. Poilievre and Trudeau rose through the ranks of politics. Carney definitively has not and did not. Definitely Polyev did. So, I mean, yeah, I think he ran a good campaign that he had to stop 3 times because of Trump's antics. 3 times Carney had to get off the fucking campaign trail because fucking Trump was doing dumb shit. So, like, what are you talking about?
When he wasn't given much of a chance, and he ran a really great campaign. He did a really great debate. I think that debate was very helpful. I was going to raise my hand. You know, I don't know if that's good or bad. I shouldn't say that. That might hurt you. But no, he ran a really great election, I thought. And yeah, something could happen. Something could happen. Yeah, please.
The question was, do you want your first deal to be with Canada? And his answer was to ramble, say something that made no sense, was factually just not true, and then say something could happen.
Top concession you want out of Canada. The top concession you want out of Canada.
Concession?
Yes.
What is the top concession you want out of Canada in this, like, negotiation?
Friendship.
But that's not a concession.
No, we're going to be friends with Canada. Regardless.
That's not a concession! No, we're gonna be friends with Canada. You know, we were friends before you jumped a bunch of tariffs on our heads and started attacking us. So, what do you mean we're gonna be friends with Canada regardless? What are you talking about? This is the same fucking problem that I had with what Adam Schiff was saying. Canada's gonna be friends with me no matter what. Oh, really? Is that what you think? No matter what we do to Canada, they'll still be friendly. Motherfucker! This dude's about to take an elbow to the face. He does not understand friendship. No shit! Like, how sad that you have to concede a thing to get friendship. Well, how sad you have to be to think that friendship is a concession. Like, it's a loss for the other person to be your friend. Huh? Sorry, Donnie, we're just not that into you. Sorry, Donald. Not a snowball's chance in hell. I still think that's probably Trudeau's best line. Donald. No. What? What? This is a bad first date. Do they not understand that the kindest people, which Canadians are, can also be the scariest people to ever see, when they've had enough? So, okay, here's the thing. There's something that I don't know if I've talked about this on stream before. Maybe. I don't remember right now. There is one thing that Trump is fine with is he's fine with throwing his weight around, or his perceived weight, that the weight he believes he has, right? And he's like fine with talking about military operations, and fine talking about bombing the shit out of Yemen, and fine talking about potentially going back to war in the Middle East, and he's fine about talking about sending fucking troops to Greenland. But you ask him about sending military into Canada, and he's like, no fam, no, I can't imagine that, no. He knows. He's scared of Canada, and he should be, because, like, motherfucker, at me, bet. Like, what do you think's gonna happen? Mother of God. This is Canada showing up. Hey guys, I brought the list. Canada, that's the Geneva Convention. It's not a checklist. Oh, we did so good at it last time that they added more. No! Oh my fucking God. Unbelievable, dude. Unreal. Hold on, let me pull that up. I think Youth Pastor Ryan did a video about that. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me see if it's, let me see if I have this. Hold on. I believe in a thing called love. I believe we can make it now. We'll be rocking this song goes down. There it is. Nope. No, that's just sorry for the Geneva Convention. That's not it. Let me check here. Oh, no, why the Geneva Convention is so long? Sorry. No. No! Ah! I believe in myself. Hold on. I'm sorry. Yeah, from me. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. It's gonna bother me, alright? I'm sorry, it's gonna bother me. It's too far back. Alright, I don't know. Oh well. Never mind, let's just keep going. I'll keep looking.
If anything, we're going to be friends with Canada. Canada is a very special place to me. I know so many people that live in Canada. My parents had relatives that lived in Canada, my mother in particular. And no, I love Canada. I have a lot of respect for the Canadians. Wayne Gretzky, I mean, how good, the great one. You happen to have a very, very...
Do I need to explain that we all fucking hate Wayne Gretzky because he's a fucking asshole? Is that something I need to explain again? Because I'll explain it again. Like, Wayne Gretzky is an asshole and we don't like him because he's a dick. He's a dick to everybody. He's a dick to everybody. He fucking refused to show up. He would literally rather be an American, so fucking fuck off. Go home, you hoser. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Oh, we love Canada. That's why we're tariffing the shit out of them and treating them like shit. What the fuck are you on about? Did he not just say that... Didn't he in a recent press conference say that Canadians are very mean and we're the worst people to make deals with? I'm pretty sure that's what he said. I'm pretty sure he said that out loud. Did he not say that out loud? You guys remember that, right? That's a thing he said. How can I not find this video? It just vanished off the face of the fucking planet. What the shit? What the fuck? Isn't it my phone? Yeah, he called us nasty. Yeah, that was the word, nasty. So the Canadians are the nastiest people. I'm gonna find this video, I swear to God. It's gonna bother me forever. Ah! I found it. Let me just send this in Discord. Let me just send this in the Discord and then I'll pull it up from there. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew I had this video. I'm not the dumb person here. You're the dumb person here. I'm putting it in politics. I knew it. I knew I had this fucking video. Okay, it is uploading. I swear, I knew it. I fucking knew it. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. It's uploading. It's uploading. Give. There it is. And now I'm downloading it onto my computer so I can show it to you guys. Fucking keck. There it is. There it is. You can't stop me. I'm the gingerbread man.
All right, Europe, World War III is happening. What do we do?
Okay. First things first. Let's take over India. The hell? Well, I have just one idea. Have you considered calling them?
Please don't call them.
Oh, hey there, guys. We got your text. We're excited to show the difference between nice and polite. Hello, Canada. Please remember Geneva's list this time. Oh, Geneva, that sweet girl. Last time we were here, we checked off everything on her list. They actually added more because we were doing so good. No, that's not the idea. Or bad. I guess this time we'll just have to come up with some creative workarounds. Please, that's not what we mean. 9. Let the man cook. Okay, first question. If we poison all their food, but it's with a naturally occurring bacteria, does that count as a... Glad they're on our sides this time.
It's such a good fucking video. Like that, but I mean, that's what it is. That's what it fucking is, dude. Alright, anyway, with a great one or something, yeah, whatever. Hockey.
Oh, I love Canada. I have a lot of respect for the Canadians. Wayne Gretzky, I mean, how good, the great one. You happen to have a very, very good hockey player right here on the Capitals, who I have a lot of respect. He is a big, tough cookie, too. He just broke the record, and he's a great guy. And
The Russian hockey player that just broke Wayne Gretzky's records and was breaking new records. He's talking about the Russian hockey player. Trump is so fucking embarrassing. What? I'm gonna try to endear myself to the Canadians by talking about hockey, and then I'm gonna talk about Wayne Gretzky, who they all hate, and then I'm gonna turn around and talk about this other great hockey player that is definitely Canadian, who is actually Russian. And Canada and Russia are on really good terms right now, right? Oh my god!
you know, we had the team here, and I got to know a lot of the players. But now Canada is a very special place. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, and Mr. Prime Minister, I'd like to get your response to this too. Mr. President, you have said that Canada should become the 51st state.
Yeah. No. Well, I still believe that, but you know, it takes two to tango, right? But no, I do. I mean, I believe it would be a massive tax cut for the Canadian citizens. You get free military, you get tremendous medical cares and other things. There would be.
How would becoming the 51st state bring Canada better medical care? Hold on. Wait a second. Just give me 1 second. I saw a graphic today. Did I not fucking... I saw a graphic today that compared, like, the amount spent. So, like, medical care is part of our taxes, right? And on average, I guess the number is somewhere around $7,000 a year that Americans pay to insurance companies, which is just extra steps. So, like, here's an example. Like, egg price. Like, what the fuck? What are we on? What is happening? Like, why would... It doesn't... I can't find the graphic, but it doesn't track. It doesn't make any fucking sense, man. Is an image in political? Hey, oh, Jason, you're a hero. You're a hero. Open. Yes, you had it. Thank you. That's exactly what I was looking at. Minimum wage 17.30 in Canada, 7.25 USD. The federal median income rate 20%, 20.5% versus 22%. Healthcare included with taxes 7,000 per year average. Banking regulations strong, weak. Unionization rate set 30% to 10%. 30% could be better. I'm not gonna lie. 30% is pretty low. Paid paternal leave 78 weeks. Zero. What the fuck, dude? Why would Canada ever give up what we fucking have? For what? For what? What do you say? Military? As if the Canadian military isn't already baller, and it's just its main issue is that it's underfunded, which is something that is being changed as we speak. Like, what are you fucking even talking about?
Be a lot of advantages, but it would be a massive tax cut, and it's also a beautiful. You know, as a real estate developer, you know, I'm a real estate developer at heart. When you get rid of that artificially drawn line, somebody drew that.
He talks about that like it's a good thing, that's endearing, endearing. Currently $17.30 Canadian equals $12.50 USD. Oh, don't worry, that's on a downturn. So
that line many years ago with like a ruler, just a straight line right across the top of the country. When you look at that beautiful formation when it's together, I'm a very artistic person, but when I looked at that beauty, I said that's the way it was meant to be. But you know, I do feel it's much better for Canada, but we're not going to be discussing that unless somebody wants to discuss it. I think that there are tremendous benefits to the Canadian citizens. Tremendous.
I'm gonna put that back. Look at him. He's just like.
Years ago with like a ruler, just a straight line right across the top of the country.
It's just like, it is not a straight line at all. There are actually like a lot of small little islands and areas that like have been in contest.
When you look at that beautiful formation when it's together, I'm a very artistic person, but when I looked at that beauty, I said that's the way it was meant to be. But you know, I do feel it.
That's just Carney being like, it's fine, I'll wait. Whatever. Go on, get to your point, you rambling sack of shit.
It's much better for Canada, but we're not going to be discussing that unless somebody wants to discuss it. I think that there are tremendous benefits.
Unless somebody wants to discuss it, said the guy who keeps bringing it up after everybody keeps telling him no.
Canadian citizens, tremendously lower taxes, free military, which honestly we give you essentially anyway because we're protecting Canada if you ever had a problem.
If you ever had a problem. We're protecting Canada. If you ever had a problem. Who are we going to have a problem from? Donald? You? Who's going to give Canada a problem? What are you talking about? We've been helping you with wars, not the fucking other way around, asshat. Good fucking God. Look at his face. He's just like, okay. If you ever had a problem.
Benefits to the Canadian citizens.
That's like some fucking mob boss talk. If you ever had a problem, we'd hate to see something happen to you. Fucking protection racket McGee over here.
Tremendously lower taxes, free military, which honestly we give you essentially anyway because we're protecting Canada if you ever had a problem. But
yeah, he's thinking about that. You see, look at that. That's his eyes. His eyes are him thinking about that and being like, no. What?
I think it would really be a wonderful marriage because it's two places that get along very well. They like.
And he's like giving this bombastic ass side eye. What the fuck? Present for 9 says rich people are different because they have money up the wazoo and think it's great because with money it is. Some more news made a great episode talking about if rich people are okay in the head. I saw that episode. It's actually very, very, very good, and I definitely recommend it. Some more news, and it's called "Are Rich People Okay?" If you haven't watched it, I absolutely recommend checking it out.
Other a lot.
Well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met.
Oh, Trump's face. Oh no. Look at Trump's face. He like grinds his teeth.
State, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
Right here, look at him. Oh, Carney got him. Oh no. Carney knows it too. He's like, haha.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together. And we have done that in the past. And part of that, as the president just said, is with respect to our own security. And my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our partnership. And I'll say this as well, that the president has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO, and us playing our full weight in NATO, and that will be part of it.
That's true. And they have.
Oh, guys, did you? Okay, all right. I think we knew going into this that Carney was gonna have to play nice with Trump, right? He was gonna have to like fucking chat with shit. When he's talking about investing in our military, he's talking about investing in, like, Canada building its own military through its own contracts and pulling out of contracts with America, like every other country is doing. And then Canada taking on contracts for other countries. That's what he's referring to. But I don't know if Trump is smart enough to have done the research. I mean, he doesn't know the fucking Russian hockey player isn't Canadian. But the play on words here, this is politics. This is how you politic. Listen to this.
And my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our partnership, and I'll say this as well, that the president has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO.
Revitalized international security. Yeah. Not in a good way. In everybody being like, well, we've been relying way too much on America, and now it's time to pull the trigger on all of us being like, fuck those guys! But you'd have to know what's going on the world stage to do that, and America just has this really fucked, and particularly Trump has this really fucked up where he's bought into his own fucking bullshit propaganda too much, that he doesn't really understand where America is currently falling on the fucking international stage. And so because Trump doesn't have a good understanding and America doesn't have a good understanding, and you can tell that he doesn't have a good fucking understanding of this because of the way he's trying to do these tariffs. He's trying to throw his weight around. And he's trying to throw his weight around, and it's having a spectacularly backfiring effect. And that backfiring effect is literally revitalizing international security between everybody else and not America. So, like, it's... Oh my god. And Trump doesn't even know he just got fucking burned. He called him a transformative president. He said that he's fucking revitalized international security. Holy shit.
NATO, and us playing our full weight in NATO, and that will be part of it.
And they have.
And then Trump agrees with him, like it's like he gave him a compliment. Trump actually thinks that Carney is complimenting him. Holy shit.
They have, I must say, Canada is stepping up the military participation because.
Yeah, we have been since Trudeau.
Mark knew, they were low,
and we're stepping it up. I think we're likely going to be stepping it up even more, but that's speculation on my part.
They're stepping it up, and that's a very important thing. But never say never. Never say never.
I don't. Trump says never say never to the fucking buying Canada thing. Look at Carney. Look at what Carney does.
Participation because. Mark knew, they were low, and now they're stepping it up, and that's a very important thing. But never say never. Never say never.
He just said never. He just melded it. He's like, never. Never, never, never. Did you see it? I'll play it again.
Participation because Mark knew, they were low, and now they're stepping it up, and that's a very
okay, ready?
thing. But never say never.
Never say never. Never, 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 never gonna happen. And then he's laughing about it because he thinks Trump is a fucking goddamn joke. Cancel F-35 orders and switch to the Gripen. Or sorry, the Gripen. Trump doesn't notice. Yeah, that's likely going to happen. It depends on where if the Gripen's able to change up where it's getting some of its parts. Yeah, Germany is rebuilding Germany. Well, yeah, no, Germany is like fucking funding the shit out of a lot of military expansion in Europe right now. Holy shit. And like, Carney's laughing at it. Carney's like, he knows. He knows. He's not there to argue with Trump, and everybody on the planet who knows anything about discussions, like I refer to you to Emmanuel Macron from France. He fucking knows. They know how to play this game. They're gonna play Trump like a fucking fiddle. And that's exactly what's happening here. Holy shit.
Say never.
Never, 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 never. Like, and Trump's not even fucking looking. He doesn't even know. Like, look at him. He fucking has no idea.
Never say never. Never say never.
Trump actually thinks he got him with the never say never line, and he just doesn't realize that Carney's just steamrolling over top of that of like, no, never, never, never. I'll say never as many times as you fucking want. Oh my god.
What will it take to get the tariffs off of Canada?
Well, we'll be talking about
what will it take to get the tariffs off of Canada?
Different things. Like, we want to protect our automobile business, and so does Mark. But we want to make the automobiles, and we want to, we have a tremendous abundance of energy, more than any country. We have, just in Alaska alone, ANWR has been reopened now. ANWR is probably the largest find anywhere in the world. They say it's larger than Saudi Arabia. I don't know, but it's a lot. But we have tremendous amounts of energy. Other countries don't. We're both lucky in that way. They have energy. We have energy. We have more than we can ever use and more than we could ever sell. Actually.
Trump sits like a fucking toddler. I noticed Jack saying Carney, believe it or not, although looking more confident here is self-soothing a little, cause Trump being an idiot as usual, but he's laughing it off. Yeah, I mean, I don't imagine anyone of any kind of intelligence is really necessarily comfortable around Trump. I would probably be more concerned if he was too comfortable around Trump. This is like a scenario where Carney really has to not fuck this up, and he's got to talk to Americans, and he has to talk to Canadians. So he's got to walk this tightrope where Carney needs to stand up to Trump enough for Canadians to back him and feel like comfortable that they made a good choice, but he also needs to not push back on Trump too much in a way that it makes that it like blows off like the things that are actually going to be good for Canada, right? And he's got to talk to Americans, so Americans have to understand what Carney is saying as well. So it's a weird line to walk, and you'll notice that Trump doesn't care. Like, Trump's not trying to talk to Canadians right now. His best thing was to be like, yeah, we like Wayne Gretzky. Yeah, we don't. You know what I mean? He's not. Trump is not trying to talk to Canadians. He's not viewing this as an opportunity to talk to Canadians, whereas Carney is viewing this as an opportunity to talk to Americans.
And you have the same thing. So we're two countries that are very lucky. If you look at China, they don't have that. You know, it's a big disadvantage. Other countries, most countries.
China is currently working with Japan and South Korea, which is nigh unheard of because of what Trump has been doing. And that's exactly the type of thing that fucking Carney is talking about when he says that Trump has had a tremendous effect on and reinforcing revitalizing international security.
Don't have, you know, most countries don't have that. So Canada and us, we have a lot of advantages over other places.
I like that Carney is barely even bothering to step in on any of these questions.
You consider what Mr. Carney just said, that Canada is not for sale. Does this make the discussion a little more difficult to start on?
No, not at all. No, not at all. No, time will tell. It's only time. But I say never. I've had many things that were not doable, and they ended up being doable. And
Carney's face, like, yeah, all right, sure, bud.
Only doable in a very friendly way. But if it's to everybody's benefit, you know, Canada loves us, and we love Canada.
This is the same thing that I said about Adam Schiff. If you're curious about my Adam Schiff coverage, it's buried inside of the fucking me reading through the conservative fucking shit, but you can also just find the video of that where I just cut that together on Debate Hub. Go and check that out. The side eye. Yeah, Unfinished Journey for 222 said Hail Nero, Chesh, and Carney, and middle finger to T-Dog. No, we don't like America right now. Lots of eye rolls, yeah.
That's, I think, the number one thing that's important. But we'll see. I mean, over time, we'll see what happens.
Carney's shaking his head. I don't know if you're noticing what Carney is saying right now without actually saying anything. Watch him. Watch him.
Never say never. I've had many things that were.
He just laughed at him. I don't know if you that right there. That's him laughing, and he looks down. He's doing a, and then he looks up and stops.
No, not at all. No, not at all. No, time will tell. It's only time.
Smirks.
But I say never.
Looks
I've
down, tries not to laugh.
Doable, and they ended up being
shifts
doable.
Around of being like, no, dude.
Only doable in a very friendly way. But if it's to everybody's benefit, you know, Canada loves us, and we love Canada.
Let him ramble, let him go, let him cook.
That's, I think, the number one thing that's important. But we'll see. I mean, over time, we'll see what happens.
Shakes his head. Jason in the chat said Canada being the 5th largest holder of American debt really shows they don't need us. We should just sell it all off and see what happens. Yeah. That and like the amount of money that Canada holds in banking in America is surprisingly high. This is not as much as nice as Canada has been by saying nobody wins in a trade war. There will definitively be a fucking loser, and it's not gonna be Canada. Brushes invisible lint off of his pants. Yeah. Bro, Trump right now is like, America right now is a fucking frog in a pot. And they're fucking cooking, dude.
China.
I was hoping you could clarify something. Earlier this morning on Capitol Hill, Secretary Bessent said that there had been no negotiations yet with China. You have said something different.
Bessent said that there have been no negotiations with China, but you said that there were negotiations in China.
And they're doing no business right now. And those ships are turning around in the Pacific Ocean. Big turn. Those are big ships. Those ships take about 10 miles to turn.
Are they beautiful?
And, you know, we lost $1 trillion dollars to China on trade because of an incompetent president that we had who preceded me, grossly incompetent. You're finding it out more and more now. And by not trading, we're losing nothing. So we're saving $1 trillion. It's a lot.
That is just a lie. That's not how trade works. And I really wish we could see Carney's face during this, because he's probably just like, no.
But they want to negotiate and they want to have a meeting, and we'll be meeting with them at the right time.
Letting all the soy rot is definitely making you money.
I have not met with them. Of course, you would know if I met. I'd tell you they want to meet, but we are right now. Look, they're suffering greatly. Their economy is suffering greatly because
China's economy is suffering greatly right now. Hold on, let's test that theory. China unveils ambitious plan to fix ailing economy. Treasury Secretary Bessent signals U.S. advantage in the tariff battle as China, blah, blah, blah. China economy, BBC. Let's check the BBC. Let's see what the BBC says. We don't care. A defiant China looks beyond Trump's America. Chinese exporters tell BBC if if the U.S. doesn't want their goods, other countries have money to buy them. She's real test is not Trump's trade war. The real battleground of the current trade war might be China's domestic economy. Could South America benefit from Trump's trade tariffs? I don't think you understand. I really, maybe I'm wrong about this, but from my understanding of China is they don't give a fuck. They are more than happy to like hold out in the long game and be like, yeah, so what? We'll lose a battle and then just win this war. Or, hey, yeah, no, we're willing to let our people suffer, or our people are willing to suffer to tell you to go fuck yourself. For nothing, if not pride, even. Which I don't think is actually what's happening right now, but I think it's reasonable what they're doing right now. But I mean, Canada's doing the same thing. Yeah, Canadians are gonna have a little bit of a rough time, and we know that, and we're fine with it because we're petty bitches. China, Canada, Mexico account for around 40% of U.S. imports and exports. China can so easily find and ditch America altogether. Afford to ditch America altogether. Compare China's GDP with the United States. Okay. China GDP. Let's take a look. Trading economy. Trading economics. Here's China's GDP. Do we have... Here we go. And here's the United States. Well, gross domestic product GDP in the United States was worth $27,720.71 billion in the U.S. in 2023. According to the official data from the World Bank, GDP value in the United States... Oh, this is 2023. I need 2024, my friend. What's its current? Let's give me 2020. I need 2025. Give me 2025. First quarter. 2.5%. Reduced to 1.7%. Forecasters for 2025. Annual average 4.3. China GDP first quarter, according to CNN, 5.4 in the first quarter. 5.4 compared to a projected 1.9 is a massive difference. There has been an increase to 2.4, and then a total of 4.3. So that is definitively China being percentages above America right now, based on what I just looked up.
Not doing trade with the U.S. and they made most of their money off the U.S. Don't kid yourself. They don't make the money off other countries like this. And We had a trade imbalance, we had a deficit, or they had a surplus, another way of saying it, of more than $1 trillion. Think of it, more than $1 trillion. And because of 145%, that's the only reason, but because of they have now 145% tariff, there's no trading. You can't trade with 145%. We are, therefore, making, in a certain way, I guess, $1.1 trillion.
No, it means that you're not selling anything and not buying anything. That means your money is stagnating and your product that you would be selling to them is rotting. When they're able to find other trade partners and you aren't able to find other trade partners because you have tariffs on everybody and nobody wants to fucking trade with you. You have as of this fucking video, 0 trade deals. Who's gonna buy all that soy? Who's gonna buy all that product? Nobody. It's gonna rot. Oh my fucking god. This man is a fucking idiot.
We're not losing $1.1 trillion. Our deficit is much better. When I started, I say we were losing billions of dollars a day.
If you're not selling the product, then it still counts as a deficit, dumbass. You're not selling it. It's stagnating. So you're still losing.
That's rapidly turning around. We looked at numbers this morning. So we were losing, the United States during Biden was losing more than, I won't even give you numbers because they're so embarrassing.
I won't even give you numbers because they're so embarrassing. God, there's so many numbers. He doesn't know, because he's bullshitting. He doesn't have any numbers. He's made it the fuck up.
Embarrassing, but billions of dollars a day on trade. Those numbers are rapidly turning between the tariffs. Don't forget, we're now getting 25% on cars, 25% on aluminum, 25%.
That's in Canada, not China, you fuck nugget.
On steel, and maybe more importantly, massive numbers of companies are moving into the United States.
That is definitively not true.
Honda, we have tremendous, the car companies are moving.
The car companies are going to Canada. Oh my god, hold on. I talked about this before, but I'm gonna pull this up again because I didn't pull it up last time. Subaru pulls Canadian production from US as Trump tariff deals a heavy blow. Automaker will now build more cars in Canada, for Canada in Japan rather than in Indiana. The trade wars have a funny way of boomeranging back onto the people who start them, and the largest tariff saga between the United States and Canada is already rewriting the automotive map. The impact is immediate, and for Subaru, is forcing some serious logistical acrobatics just to keep costs under control. In 2024, Subaru sold 68,043 cars in Canada, with 26% of them or 17,700 vehicles coming from the United States. Thanks to Donald Trump's new round of tariff games, Canada now imposes a 25% tax on cars built south of the border. In response, Subaru is shifting production for Canada inbound models out of the United States to save itself some cash. It'll just end up costing America millions. Motherfucker.
Moving in at levels we've never seen before. The biggest investment ever made in the United States is being made right now. Trillions of dollars. I would say we could be at $9 trillion. You could go back to other presidents. They haven't had $1 trillion for their entire term. Look at Biden. He had bad numbers. People were leaving. They weren't coming in. They were leaving.
Biden's economy was actually way better. And way better than Trump's economy is right now, if you want to call it that. Don't be rude to Canada. Like and share the stream. Thank you, my unfinished sock. Very appreciated.
Biden, and he didn't know the difference. The only thing he knew is people coming in. You know who they were? Illegal immigrants. Okay, from prisons, from mental institutions.
My fucking god, drink for illegal immigrants!
From all sorts of places that weren't good. From gangs, from Venezuela. They were coming in and they were criminals and murderers. 11,888 people that murdered, and at least half of them murdered more than one person. This is what Biden led into our country. I'm bringing in big companies. We have Apple is investing $500 billion.
Despite the rally, Apple still faces a trade war nightmare. The rest of corporate America has to live with the uncertainty, too. Apple reclaimed its crown as the world's most valuable company on April 9th. Financial markets roared higher in response to President Donald Trump's decision to put a 90-day hold on his reciprocal tariffs to most countries but not China. Look past the euphoria, though, and there's a stark reality. More than most big American firms, Apple remains hugely exposed to the worsening trade conflagration with China. More pause is just a pause. Mr. Trump's capriciousness is still makes it a nightmare to decide how to reconfigure supply chains. Apple is left without a life raft as Trump's China trade war intensifies, analysts warn, April 11th. Though the United States President Donald Trump's 90-day pause on many of his reciprocal tariffs have given some firms and investors respite, America's largest company, Apple, hasn't been so lucky. The Cupertino-based tech giant is heavily reliant on supply chains in China, which has seen its I don't know this word.
Levy.
Yeah, it is levies. Levies. Okay, I'm not crazy. Yeah, it's levies. Okay. Only continue to ramp up, with the United States' cumulative tariff rate on Chinese goods now standing at 145%. Thus, despite the tariff trade situation looking more promising for much of the world, experts say that U.S.-China negotiations remain the most important variable for Apple. Quote, Apple could be set back many years by these tariffs. The smartphone maker is diversifying its supply chain from China for years, but out of the 77 million iPhones it shipped to the United States last year, nearly 80% of them come from China. Apple reportedly shipped 600 tons of iPhones, or as many as 1.5 million units, from India to the US before Trump's new tariffs took effect. Bro is cooking these countries and he doesn't even fucking care. Or no.
We have Jensen, as you know, is going to be 500 biggest chip maker, or chip thinker, I call him. He's really a thinker more than a maker. But we also have the maker, Mr. Wei. I get to know them all in the last, it was a cram course. But they're all moving into America because of the tariffs. And I don't think people...
iPhone price at $3,500 shortly after Trump's April 2nd tariff announcement, estimating that Apple would need to spend $30 billion over 3 years to move 10% of its supply chain to the United States. Apple wanted to go to India to dodge the tariffs, but with the conflict going on there, they may not even want to do that anymore. Yeah.
People have appreciated it. Some people do. Some of the smart people do. So we have more money coming in. It's really an amazing thing. We have more money being invested in the United States now than at any time ever before in our history, and it's not even close. And I think the real number could be 9 or 10 trillion. We don't know everybody that's doing it. We have many. I just heard about a plant that's being built right now, a very, very top-of-the-line company, and they didn't come to the White House. They're just doing it because they're making it, because if they build here, there are no tariffs. And this is the big market. This is the market. That sets us apart from it. This is the market where everyone wants to be. Now, if I didn't come here and do this, all of a sudden we wouldn't be the market.
Why? Because you understand that if they ship out of America, they have to pay the tariffs. Because everybody's responding to your tariffs. So they can only sell in America. And everything Trump has done has just made the American people poorer and poorer. And separated that wage gap more and more and more. So, who are they going to sell to?
Where everyone wants to be. So we're able to do it in time. But we're going to have a great announcement. And I'm not necessarily saying it's on trade. Going to the beginning, we're going to have a great announcement over the next few days. An announcement that will be so incredible, so positive. And I'm not saying, I don't want you to think it's necessarily on trade. Just to finish, we also have a situation, because everyone says, when are you going to sign deals? We don't have to sign deals. We could sign 25 deals right now, Howard, if we wanted. We don't have
Now
to
you don't need deals?
sign deals. They have to sign deals with us. They want a piece of our market. We don't want a piece of their market. We don't care about their market. They want a piece of our market. So we can just sit down, and I'll do this at some point over the next 2 weeks, and I'll sit with Howard and Scott and with our great vice president, who has done a really good job. We have some good news to report on a lot of fronts, but JD will be there, and Mark.
Fucking JD Vance hasn't said a goddamn word, and good.
And we're going to sit down, and we're going to put very fair numbers down, and we're going to say, here's what this country, what we want, and congratulations, we have a deal.
Right-hand Sith said deals are not binding if it's not signed. With Trump, even if it is signed, it's not binding. He's illegally tariffing Canada right now. We have trade deals already signed and in place, and he's violated those trade agreements. And then talked about annexing us. This is war talk. This is annexation. This is invasion word.
And they'll either say, great, and they'll start shopping, or they'll say, not good, we're not going to do it. I said, that's okay, you don't have to shop. Now, we may think, well, they have a right, they're
You're tariffing people because they don't buy enough from you. That's your whole reasoning. So if they don't, you're literally tariffing them for not shopping, and so they're going to shop less. Like, Thank you, President Spraytan, for allowing us the opportunity to give you things you need at a reasonable price. Yeah, right? What the fuck? Do you think the Americans have realized they're going to starve? That there's going to be massive famine in large parts of America because of these things? And these are long-term effects. How many years can you handle starvation? And this is disregarding climate change issues. This is disregarding drought. This is disregarding fucking fires and weather pattern changes. So, like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? It's like raising your prices because nobody's buying your shit. It's like raising your prices because people aren't buying enough from you. People were already buying your shit, so you raise the price to try to encourage them to buy more of it. Like, it makes no sense. It disregards the extensive food deserts that are increasing in the US. Absolutely. This is disregarding all of that. Who is America gonna buy potash from? Russia? You think Russia's even gonna sell to America if assuming there's no embargo? Or depending on what happens between Russia and Ukraine and, like, literally everybody else except for America? Hey, yeah, remember that fucking point that Carney made saying that, like, that Trump revitalized international security? Yeah, that was literally everybody and their mother showing up to hang out with the Zelensky after the fucking nightmare shit show that happened in this very office. America is about to go through a massive, massive economic downturn and a massive, massive fucking death and suffering and starvation across its country in the next handful of years because of this. And it's sad, because it doesn't need to be this way. And the reason it's this way is because of hate. You hate some people so much that you would rather kill yourself. That's basically what's happening.
That maybe we were a little bit wrong, so we'll adjust it. And then you people will say, oh, it's so chaotic. No, we're flexible. But we'll sit down.
You think that chaos and flexibility are the same thing? Yeah, no, dude.
And we'll, at some point, in some cases, we'll sign some deals. It's much less important than what I'm talking about. For the most part, we're just going to put down a number and say, this is what you're going to pay to shop. And it's going to be a very fair number. It'll be a low number. We're not looking to hurt countries. We want to help countries.
Is he trying to... Okay, that's not true. You've said and gone out of your way that you intend on hurting people. But regardless... Are you trying to run America like it's fucking Costco, that you have a membership and so you can fucking buy? Like, what are you talking about?
We want to be friendly with countries, but you keep writing about deals. When are we going to sign? When? It's very simple. We're going to say...
You brought it up! You made the deals a big deal, and now you're like, why are you asking me about this thing that I made a big deal out of?
In some cases, we want you to open up your country. In some cases, we want you to drop your tariffs. I mean, India, as an example, is one
In Canada's case, we just want them to be our friends when we were already their friend?
The highest tariffs in the world. We're not going to put up with that. And they've agreed already to drop it. They'll drop it to nothing. They've already agreed. They would have never done that for anybody else but me. So we're going to put down some numbers, and we're going to say our country is open for business. And they're going to come in, and they're going to pay for the privilege of being able to shop in the United States of America. It's very simple. It's very simple.
I agree with him. That is very simple. But I don't mean simple the way he means simple.
So I wish they'd keep, stop asking, how many deals are you signing this week? Because one day we'll come and we'll give you 100 deals. And they don't have to sign. All they have to do is say, oh, we'll start sending our ships right now to pick up whatever we want or to bring whatever we want. It's very, very simple. And I think my people haven't made it clear. We will sign some deals, but much bigger than that is we're going to put down the price that people are going to have to pay to shop in the United States.
This is the most waffly word salad crock of shit I have ever heard. Oh my god. I'm so glad Carney is not interrupting him and just sitting there and letting him fucking talk. Holy shit.
Think of us as a super luxury store, a store that has the goods. You're going to come and you're going to pay a price, and we're going to give you a very good...
Can anybody name one thing that comes from the United States of America and only from the United States of America? One thing that America exports to everywhere else that no other country can get from anywhere except the United States. One thing, any one thing. It can be a completed item, it can be like anything. Is there anything? One thing that the fuck... Listen, okay, I set the bar too low with stupidity. No. Like, one... Is there any that can't be made anywhere else? Admittedly, the American brand of stupidity is very, very unique, but I don't think we want that shit. Alright, is there, like, one thing that fucking countries buy that fucking only the United States makes? An F-35, yeah, but other places, the griping exists. Like, we can make planes. Like, other people can make planes and military gear. Canada is notoriously good at manufacturing military gear. Stupidity, nada, nothing. El Zilcho. The iPhone? I like that. That's a good one. The answer is America literally has no thing, zero thing that people can't buy from fucking other places. The M1A1 Abrams. You can buy guns from other places. It's like saying a Gucci. Gucci is only in America, for example. Like, I don't think it actually is, but if Gucci was only made in America, which is not, you can still buy purses from other places. Like, a brand doesn't really matter. If you can buy it from a different place and have an equivalent value, then it obviously doesn't count. Again, the quality is that the qualifier is that you cannot get from somewhere else. You can get fighter jets other places. Canada could build their own fighter jets. Our aerospace engineering is actually...
good price. We're going to make very good deals. And in some cases, we'll adjust. But that's where it is. And we've been ripped off by everybody for 50 years. And we're just not going to do that anymore. We can't do that. And we
Then
can't.
why didn't you really do any of this your first term? The first term he was in office, he still tried to do the tariff thing, and it failed spectacularly, and it was against fucking... It was against fucking, Canada. Military intel? No, other countries have that. Other countries have military sharing, like, intel agreements, and right now nobody trusts America to share intel.
Can't let any country do that to us. We're just not going to do it anymore.
Carney's face! He finally comes back into frame and he's just like, hey, I'm here.
Anymore.
Hi, I'm the economist in the room. Don't ask me anything.
Can you tell us a bit more about the deal that you've reached with the Houthis?
No, it's not a deal. They've said, please don't bomb us anymore, and we're not going to attack your ships.
And where did you hear about that?
It doesn't matter where I hear it. The very good source, I could tell you. Very, very good source. Would you say, Marco? I would say pretty good, right, JD? A very good source.
What?
No, they don't want to be. They don't want to be. They don't want to be bombed anymore. You know, I sort of thought that would happen. No, behind you, please.
Clarifying something you said on USMCA.
Red Cedar makes a good point and says the U.S. intel did make a significant difference for Ukraine. Absolutely. However, America is not the only place to get it, and America is not reliable to continue to obtain that information from, right? So if you were, I agree that America has a lot of, the military-industrial complex has a lot of some of the most high-tech military gear out there. However, it is no longer reliable. So because that military gear is no longer reliable and can't be trusted, and America has not been good at fulfilling its contracts, and has in fact threatened that this military gear is going to be faulty, then they're faulty or coming with kill switches, it immediately puts it below getting the same type of thing from anywhere else, even if the specs aren't as good. Because even no matter how good the specs are, if it's got a kill switch on it, it's useless. He literally just went, trust me, bro. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Is the U.S. prepared to walk away from that pact?
From what pact?
USMCA.
No, it's fine. It's there. It's good. We use it for certain things. It's there.
It's there. It's good. That's why I'm violating it. And that's why I said it was the worst deal in history. Who signed this? Oh, wait, it was me.
We have the USMCA is a good deal for everybody. I won't say this about Mark, but I didn't like his predecessor. I didn't like a person that worked for. She was terrible, actually.
I didn't like a person who my wife looked at and my daughter looked at like that. I love that Trump didn't like Trudeau. I love that for Trudeau. Fucking Prime Minister centerfold over here. Fucking. Where do you hear about the kill switch from? Trump. Trump has talked about kill switches. Trump has talked about how that when it comes to selling military gear, he is not going to sell he's going to sell gear that is inherently worse on purpose because the people who they're selling it to might not be their friends anymore. The problem is America and its military gear is no longer reliable, and you can see that based on the way every other government is shifting away from using military complex, using the American military industrial complex, which Trump threw completely under the bus. I do not think people understand how cooked America is. Like, even if you take out what America imports, even if you take out the issues of the dollar dropping and you take out the issues of the tariffs, Trump single-handedly destroying the trust in the American military-industrial complex will destroy America on its own because America is so heftily reliant on its military-industrial complex. That shit is caked and baked into the lifeblood of America. It is caked and baked into fucking America's economy and the economic power. And the dollar. One thing that the U.S. sells, the dollar. Yes, yeah, the U.S. dollar. But the thing that makes the U.S. dollar viable and a product is its reliability, and that reliability is out the door, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. So, countries are already moving away from that. America is absolutely cooked on the military-industrial complex alone.
She was a terrible person, and she really hurt that deal very badly because she tried to take advantage of the deal and she didn't get away with it. You know what I'm talking about. But so, you know, we had a bad relationship having to do with the fact that we disagreed with the way they viewed the deal, and we ended it. You know, we ended that relationship pretty much. The USMCA is great for all countries. It's good for all countries. We do have a negotiation coming.
Look at Carney's face, like, what the fuck? I'm getting the vibe that Carney's trying not to glare at him.
Up over the next year or so to adjust it or terminate it.
Oh yeah, so you think Carney's angry too? Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who noticed that. Like, Carney looks pissed.
And we ended it. You know, we ended that, hurt that deal very badly because USMCA is a good deal for everybody. I won't say this about Mark, but I didn't like his predecessor. I didn't like a person that worked for. She was terrible, actually. She was a terrible person. And she really hurt that deal very badly because she tried to take it.
Freeland, I think he's talking about Freeland because I think Freeland was the one who was the minister at the time working with under Trudeau.
Advantage of the deal, and she didn't get away with it. You know what I'm talking about. But so, you know, we had a bad relationship having to do with the fact that we disagreed with the way they viewed.
Look at his face. Oh my God, look at his mouth.
We had a bad relationship having to do.
Carney is trying so hard not to say anything. Oh my God, he is trying so hard not to say anything. Yeah, Chrystia Freeland. Carney is her kid's godfather. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah, it is Freeland. I thought so.
Do with the fact that we disagreed with the way they viewed the deal, and we ended it. You know, we ended that relationship pretty much. The USMCA is great for all countries. It's good for all countries. We do have a negotiation coming up over the next year or so to adjust it or terminate.
That's the deep breath of, like, let him talk. Go on. He's just letting the insults roll off his back. I don't think Trump knows the relationship between Carney and Freeland.
Terminate it.
Mr. President.
I'll say a word on USMCA if I may, Mr. President.
He's finally stepping in.
It is a basis for a broader negotiation. Some things about it are going to have to change.
Drake is asking a question. I'm going to let Carney talk. When you say, quote, no longer reliable, do you mean not reliable to fulfill the contract, or the goods sold is not reliable? Both. I mean both. I mean the goods being sold are not reliable. I mean the contract is not reliable. I mean the making a contract to be fulfilled is not reliable because Trump and America has failed to fulfill military contracts on time multiple times, specifically to Canada when Canada commissioned a bunch of shit that was supposed to go to Ukraine and it was years late. America is not reliable, not as a trade partner, not as a military aspect, not as a military at all. It's not like Canada hasn't had major issues with America's military being unreliable in the past. Afghanistan comes to mind. It was a big deal in Canada. I think a lot of Americans didn't know about it. It was a really big deal in Canada when American soldiers shot and killed Canadian soldiers via incompetency. So yeah, Canada is not terribly impressed. So let's let Carney talk.
I'll say a word on USMCA if I may, Mr. President. It is a basis for a broader negotiation. Some things about it are going to have to change. And part of the way you've conducted these tariffs has taken advantage of existing aspects of USMCA. So it's going to have to change. There's other elements that are come, and that's part of
If you didn't notice, that was more shade.
and part of the way you've conducted these tariffs has taken advantage of
Newer radar systems, including those in Australia, are designed to detect the F-35. Yeah, Canada currently has... Australia was originally going to sell its radar system to America. They switched that and sold it to Canada instead, and it is going to the Arctic.
They're going to have to change. And part of the way you've conducted these tariffs has taken advantage of existing aspects of USMCA. So it's going to have to change. There's other elements that are come, and that's part of what we're going to discuss.
Right.
Oh my god, his answer was so concise and direct, had a little bit of like an undertone shade to it, but was like incredibly neutral. And not rambling at all.
During the campaign, Prime Minister Carney talked about the American betrayal. How did you react if Canada decided not to shop in the American store as much as before and decided to partner with other countries?
Well, we don't do much business with Canada from our standpoint. They do a lot of business with us.
The slow eye roll over the nod of the head and the eye twitch. Watch Carney. Watch his face.
As much as before.
USMCA is the deal that replaced NAFTA. It's United States, Mexico, Canada. If you're in Canada, it's the CUSM. It's CUSMA, right? CUMA, which is the Canadian United States Mexico agreement, and then Mexico calls it the MUSC or USAC. Every country puts their own name first. So it was just the deal that was negotiated after NAFTA with Trump, Trudeau, and I don't remember who was in charge of Mexico at the time.
Decided to partner with other countries.
Well, we don't do much business
Look at his
with
face.
Canada from our standpoint. They do a lot of business with us. We're at like 4%.
I'll play it again. Watch his he eye rolls. He's like, what?
Decided to partner with other countries.
Well, we don't do much business with Canada from our...
Drake says, I'm sure Canada has some very good engineers, but I don't think it would be practical for them to produce the 5th gen fighter. Why? The head tilt is good. The head tilt is good.
And they decided not to shop in the American store as much as before and decided to partner with other countries.
Well, we don't do much business with Canada from our standpoint. They do a lot of business with us. We're at like 4%. And usually those things don't last very long. You know, we have great things, great product. The kind of product we sell, nobody else can sell, including military.
Like what? Yeah, including military. Yeah, nobody wants your military because nobody fucking trusts it, dude.
Look, we make the best military equipment
You don't.
World. And Canada buys our military equipment, which we appreciate. But we make the best military equipment in the world by far. The missiles, the submarines. Everything we have.
South Korea has offered a deal to Canada about submarines.
It's really top notch. I rebuilt our military during our last term. Stupidly, we gave some away to Afghanistan, which shouldn't have happened. But that was, I think it was the most embarrassing.
Oh my god, the Carney-like mouth person eyebrow twitch.
Missiles, the submarines, everything we have is really top notch. I rebuilt our military during our last term. Stupidly, we gave
He's holding
some
his
away
mouth
to
shut.
Afghanistan, which shouldn't have happened. But that was, I think it was the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. It was just a very incompetent
Carney just waiting.
people. But if you
Back
look,
when you left Afghanistan to hang? Yeah.
look, the man that's now the head of our Joint Chiefs, he led the attack on ISIS for me. That's why he's the head of the Joint Chiefs. And Raisin Kane, he was unbelievable. And as you know, we defeated ISIS in 3 weeks. It was supposed to take 5 years. We did it in 3 weeks.
I'm gonna need a citation on that. I'm just gonna go ahead and boop. I don't think that's true.
And he ran the campaign. I said, I like him. But I knew him before. I went to Iraq, and we agreed to a plan, and that was the plan. And as you know,
get on with it.
So we have the best equipment in the world. We have the best a lot of things, but Canada it does a lot more business with us than we do with Canada. Yeah.
Mr. President.
Drake says Canada has other options than the F-35, but Canada would have to do a lot of catching up if they were to develop their own. And Feline is asking, how would you know they need a lot of catching up? I can probably answer this. Drake is not entirely wrong. However, I think it might be a little bit misinformed. Canada has a lot of aerospace technology and facilities and infrastructure. We do a lot of contracting for the American military in Canada and for things like NASA as well. So Canada wouldn't have much. The most that Canada would have catching up to do is not technology, it's infrastructure. And we would be a little bit faster at picking up back to World War II, like end of World War II rates than I think most people would expect us to be able to because of our infrastructure. There's about to be a lot of factory plants and areas that are getting closed down by Trump's attacks on the automotive industry. And those facilities will likely, again, I'm speculating, I suspect that with the increase in funding and the direction of international directions that everybody else is doing, I suspect that a lot of those plants that are closing are going to have the people who are already trained to be working these things are going to flip those facilities over to military production. So I agree, Drake is correct that Canada does have catching up to do because we've been so reliant on America, but it will not take, I do not think, as long or as... It has a lot of catching up to do, depends on what you mean. Do you mean time or do you mean like rollover? Because yeah, there's a lot of rollover to do, but I don't think it's going to take as long as a lot of people might think. Canada is notoriously good at ramping up military and notoriously already has the engineers and the infrastructure. So it's because we already have those two things in place, it won't be that big of a deal or that much of a change as you might think it would be. I don't think Drake is totally wrong. I think there's just a bit of an extra nuance in there, but...
Your investments, Mr. President, when do you think the investments that you've announced, the trillions, will finally hit economic data this year?
When you're saying about the tariffs?
No, about the investments that you've announced.
It's hitting right now. Look, they're already starting AI plants. These are not people that look for financing. That's a good thing. You know, in real estate, you get a site, then you have to look for financing. You have to get your zoning. 5 years later, you start building. You get a bank, then the bank's no good. These people have massive amounts of cash. The CHIPS Act was a ridiculous thing because that doesn't get them to build. All we did is hand very wealthy companies money. The CHIPS Act that was done by Biden. Billions, we give them billions of dollars. They don't even have to do anything with it. And then if you weren't, if you didn't have, and I don't want to be a wise guy, but if you didn't go with the DEI, if you didn't go with...
All right, if I had to be technical, right? What I would suspect to see. I don't... Again, Canada is notoriously fast and notoriously good at manufacturing. Particularly, and we have a very good reputation for military construction. Back in World War II, at the end of World War II, Canada and America were neck and neck for military constructing and Canada, or military manufacturing, and Canada willingly chose to step back and let America take it over. Canada doesn't have to do that. Canada can and is easily capable of dealing with America and doing manufacturing and industrial manufacturing for military better than America is, for multiple reasons. We have the facilities, we have the people, we have the engineers, we have the technology, we have the space. And there's one thing that we have, two things that Canada has that America doesn't. Trust and relationships with other countries, and resources, raw material. Canada will blow past America. Canada is, with Carney in charge right now, if he does what I think he's going to do and what he's hinted at doing, Canada is about to blow America out of the fucking water. Because there is nothing stopping Europe or Germany or, like, France, the UK, all of Europe, Netherlands, fucking China and Japan from doing contracts and international security, Australia, international security contracts with Canada who will be able to meet that demand. And it won't even be hard. And it'll be cheaper. And it'll be more reliable. Canada is about to see a massive fucking boom. If I'm, again, maybe I'm going out on a limb here, but do not be surprised to see a massive, massive, massive economic boom in the next 5 years for Canada. And America's just going to, like, America doesn't have the facilities, and nobody wants to buy from them.
All of the different things woke. If you weren't woke, you couldn't even use the money. You had to have a certain percentage of this and that and that and that. It's impossible to have. The companies actually complained to me. They said they gave me all this money, but nobody can get these people to do anything. I mean, look, President Obama, and if he wanted help, I'd give him help because I'm a really good builder and I build on time, on budget. He's building his library in Chicago. It's a disaster. And he said something to the effect,
The question was, when will those trillion-dollar investments show up in the marketplace? What the fuck are we talking about? The US has Boeing. Oh wait, never mind. This is a good one.
I only want DEI, I only want woke. He wants woke people to build it. Well, he got woke people, and they have massive cost overruns. The job is stopped. I don't know. It's a disaster. And I don't like that happening because I think it's bad for the presidency that a thing like that should happen. He's got a library.
They asked you about your investments into trillions of dollars that is supposed to hit the fucking market, you dumb fuck. Why the hell are you talking about fucking Obama's library that you don't think is being built fast enough? Because that's not up to you. Oh my god. This man is embarrassing.
A disaster. And he wanted to be very politically correct, and he didn't use good, hard, tough, mean construction workers that I love, Marco. I love those construction workers. But he didn't want construction workers. He wanted people that, like, never did it before.
Why do you want to hire mean people? Is he talking about people that, like, catcall women and they're walking down the street? Like, what the fuck world does this man live in?
He's got a disaster in his hands. Like millions of dollars.
Why does somebody's political affiliation matter about whether or not they're able to do a job, you fucking nutcase? I thought you wanted to, like, get rid of that whole ideology and say, like, hey, listen, we just need to hire the best people for the job. But now you're like, no, if they have this opinion, they're woke, therefore they can't do the job.
Many, really many millions of dollars over budget. And I would love to help him with it.
I want to know what drugs this man is on. I want to know what medications he's taking. I wish I could see Carney's face right now. I know, right?
or somebody else. I could recommend professionals, but it was not built in a professional manner. By the way, nor was in California a little train going from San Francisco to.
I'm sorry, did he just say the entire, the entire state of California wasn't built well? Huh? What are we talking?
Los Angeles. That's being
Yeah, you can tell that. Remember what I said earlier, that Carney's there to talk to Americans and to talk to Canadians and to talk to Trump? And I said that Trump isn't talking to Canadians at all? Yeah. Yeah. Again, Carney is going out of his way to come across like he's the opposite of Donald Trump. He's actually he's trying to come across as a businessman who knows what he's talking about and actually does care about the people, which is the entire reason these people voted for Trump in the first place.
Run by Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. Did you ever hear of Gavin Newsom? He has got that train.
I knew he's just mad that Gavin Newsom is a guy that tells him to go fuck himself a little bit. Are they not showing Carney because the camera operator knows what Carney is doing? Probably. If I was Carney at this point, I would no longer be sitting at the edge of that chair. I'd be leaned back and just wait. I wouldn't even hide that I was just waiting for him to finish rambling. I'd be sitting like this. I'd be sitting like I am right now, just like, bro, what the fuck? And I'd just be like, but I'm not a diplomat. Probably for very good reasons.
Is the worst cost overrun I've ever seen. It's like totally out of control. So then they said, all right, we won't go into...
Bitch, you bankrupt casinos. Shut the fuck up.
San Francisco. We'll stop 25 miles short. And we won't go into Los Angeles. We'll stop 25 miles short. It's hundreds of billions of dollars for this stupid project that should have never been built. And
yeah, nobody likes trains and public access and public transportation.
They realized that it would have been a lot less costly if we just gave limousine service back and forth and gave it free. They would have saved hundreds of billions of dollars. They have airplanes that go there.
That's horseshit.
For 1/100th the cost, and they have cars.
Is he talking about Musk's Hyperloop? Yeah, you want an abject failure? Musk's Hyperloop.
Thing called the highway that goes back and forth. It's not fully utilized, and they got involved with this project. And Gavin, I always liked Gavin. I had a good relationship with him. I just got him a lot of water. I sent in people to open up that water.
Oh my fucking god! Okay, listen, we all know that the releasing of the water was to the wrong place and did nothing. And it was just a fucking political stunt that fucked over rural farmers, right? We all know that. But there's an extra layer here that is fucking pissing me off about this. You're actually sitting there with the Prime Minister of Canada. The Prime Minister of Canada is sitting beside this fucking troglodyte of a person, right? Canada sent firefighters. Canada did more for the people of California than Donald Trump did. Donald Trump not only failed to help the people of California, but actually screwed over an entire different group of people in California during those fires. Canada sent firefighters and paramedics and people and airplanes to help fucking California. Canada did more to help California than Trump has ever done in his entire fucking life in that one scenario, and that disregards all the other times Canada has helped America. Oh, America's subsidizing Canada. Shut the fuck up, you Nazi piece of fascist shit. Unfucking believable, dude. Unbelievable. Good God.
Because he refused to do it. And we just got him a lot of water. If they would have had that water, and if they would have done what I said to do, they wouldn't have had the fires. in Los Angeles, those fires would have been put out very quickly.
Do we want to remember what Trump said about how to deal with fire? Rake leaves? We can't rake the leaves. Rake the leaves. After you fucking cut shit? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
But if you think about it, and you got to take a look at this, it's the worst cost overrun I've ever seen. I've watched a lot of stupid people build a lot of stupid things, but that's the worst cost overrun I've ever seen. What's happening between San Francisco and Los Angeles. And you ought to ask about that, because this government is not going to pay. I told our very great new Secretary of Transportation, he's doing a good job, Sean Duffy, I said, we're not going to pay for that thing. They are just, it's out of control. This is something that you don't have things like this. It's not even conceivable. Like 30 times over budget, 30 times. It's the craziest thing and now it's hundreds of, it was supposed to be a simple train. And I think the media should take a look at it. And I'd love him to run for president on the other side. You know, I'd love to see that. But I don't think he's going to be running, because that one project alone, well, that and the fires and a lot of other things, pretty much put him out of the race. We're going to work on some...
He wants Gavin Newsom to run for president so he can run against him. Trump's not supposed to be allowed to run for another term. That's against the Constitution. But whatever, it's not like MAGA people give two shits about the Constitution.
Subtle changes, maybe. I don't even know if we're going to be dealing with USMCA. We're dealing more with concepts right now. Look, right now,
all they're doing is Mark Carney is demonstrating that he's willing to show up and meet Trump, period, at all, which is already a concession. And that's the best concession Trump is gonna fucking get right now. And based on this talk and the way this is fucking going, brother is gonna get an elbow to the head. Present99 said, maybe it's time for something stronger. Beer isn't enough anymore. You caught me.
We're doing trade. We have trade. They're paying a tariff on cars and steel and aluminum. And I think we have a basic...
No! We have the steel and aluminum. We have the raw resource. You are paying more to bring the resource to your country. What? They have the concepts of a plan. Guys. Take a random spice. Should I take a random spice? Should we take a random spice? Alright, guys. Everybody post a number between 1 and 10. Everybody in chat post a number between 1 and 10.
Line of 10% or something like that for the tariffs, but we're getting along very well. Right now, going no further, but we have an agreement. We did something with even parts. You want to discuss that, Howard, with respect to Canada, which helps Canada out?
Sure. So we've made an arrangement with the car companies that 15% of their USMCA parts are included, and then 15% of foreign parts from the manufactured suggested retail price are not tariffed, to help domestic manufacturing really thrive.
So it gave them a chance to be able to build their car parts factories if they're going to. A lot of these companies already have factories, and what they have to do is just fill them out. But they're able to.
So this is one of the problems with Trump. Trump likes to do this thing where he just is fine with doing private backdoor deals as the government with companies, which is the definition of the deep state. That is what that is. I see 886 pi 4423. So we're going to put that into a calculator. We got 8 plus 8 plus 6 plus, we're going to round pi to 3. Plus 2 plus 3 for 30. That will be the last one. Let me get it out if I can. This is the cayenne bacon. Hell yeah, cayenne bacon. Let's fucking go. We've had this one before. It was tasty. If I remember correctly. Cayenne bacon. I forgot some numbers? Did I? What did I do? Hold on. What did I do? Did I miss? 8 plus 8 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 3. No? Yeah, no. I don't think I missed any. Oh, plus another. Yeah. No. That's right. We got the cayenne bacon. Let's go! Oh, plus 6. Yep. Yep. No, we got the right number. I can't believe you guys got an even 30, though. That's pretty hilarious. You got to 38? Am I stupid? Am I dumb? I might just be dumb. 8 plus 8 plus 6 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 3. Oh, 38. Yeah, I missed something. 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, that one's the fucking... We're just gonna do both. I fucked it up, so I'm just gonna do both. Ugh. This one's very green. This one's got a crying face on the bottom. Fuck! Oh. I don't like this one. This one hurts my face. This one's extreme jalapeno. I didn't put a...
To build them in the United States, so we gave them a pretty substantial period of time.
I think. Just to clarify, Mr. President, is there anything the Prime Minister can say to you today to change your mind on tariffing Canada?
Tariffing cars?
Tariffing Canada. Is there anything he could say to you in the course of your meetings with him today that would get you to lift tariffs on Canada?
No,
Why not?
just the way it is.
Bro was asking, is there anything that Prime Minister Carney say today to get rid of tariffs? And he's like, no, why not? It's just the way it is. Huh? The art of the deal. It's just the way it is. What does that mean? Oh. That's her. He hears Canada as cars. Like, yeah, listen, don't worry about it. But, like, when I do spice, I get the hiccups. I get the hiccups sometimes, too. Maybe this time, maybe not. But what the fuck do you mean? Like, what the fuck do you mean, dude? The tariffs weren't there last time. You tried to do tariffs before and falled on your face because Trudeau beat the shit out of you. And now this time, you're trying to do it again, and now Carney's gonna beat the shit out of you. That's just the way it is. Can Canada do anything to stop the tariffs? No, it's just the way it is. But we love Canada. Canada's like, we want Canada to be our friend. They just need to accept that we punch them in the face constantly. Huh? America's so cooked, dude. So cooked. So cooked. I need to pee. I need to pee after that spice. Hold on, I'll be back in a. I'm just give me a second. Give me a second. Oh my god, that spice fucked me up, dude. I got my case of Sleeman came with an extra honey lager tall can, so that's cool. I haven't had this before, so we'll see if this is any good. Now we're almost done. We're wrapping up the end here. But what do you? I'm not sold on the what do you mean by that's just the way it is. Of course, that's when Carney steps in, right? So let's see what Carney says.
In the course of your meetings with him today, that would get you to lift tariffs on Canada?
No,
Why not?
just the way it is.
What's the
first date?
Yeah.
If Canadians don't want it, would you respect that?
Sure, I would. But this is not necessarily a one-day deal. This is over a period of time they have to make that decision. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, if I may. Well, if respectfully, Canadians' view on this is not going to change on the 51st state.
Yeah, Canada has been incredibly clear. Canadians have been very, very clear. It is almost unanimous across an entire country. You don't get those kind of numbers.
Secondly, we are the largest client of the United States in the totality of all the goods. So we are the largest client of the United States. We have a tremendous auto sector between the two of us, and the changes that made have been helpful. 50% of a car that comes from Canada is American. That's not like anywhere.
I would like to point out that fucking Carney just said that the tariffs that Trump has done on the automotive industry have been helpful. Do you want to know why he's saying that? Do you understand why he's saying that? Because Carney views what Trump is doing and what America is doing as an opportunity. That's why. He slams him and then corrects him. Yep.
Where else in the world? And to your question about is there one thing? No, this is a bigger discussion. There are much bigger forces.
Oh my god, Trump going on and being like, no, it's just the way it is, and then throwing a fucking tantrum, and then Carney just steps in, like the fucking adult in the room, and saying, this is more complicated than one thing. There is no one thing that's gonna solve this problem, and Canada's not gonna change its fucking mind.
Involved.
Again, I want to point out, Carney is 100% going into this, going out of his way to seem like he is the opposite of Trump.
Anywhere else in the world. And to your question about is there one thing? No, this is a bigger discussion. There are much bigger forces involved, and this will take some time and some discussions, and that's why we're here, to have those discussions, and that is represented by who's sitting around the table.
See, the conflict.
Yeah, those things, yeah, this is, and Carney's right, he just made it bigger than just Trump, and took the power away from Trump, and I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but at the same time, Carney is talking about why he's there. He's there to he's not here to make a deal. He's not here to, you're not going to see white smoke is what he said. What he's here to do is to open the door to conversation.
And this is
will take
the conflict,
and that's why we're here, to have those discussions, and that is represented by who's sitting around the table.
See, the conflict is, and this is very friendly. We're not. This is not going to be like we had another little blow up with somebody else. That was a much different. This is
Trump literally saying he does not want to go to physical war with Canada because he can't handle it.
Very friendly conversation, but we want to make our own cars. We don't really want cars from Canada, and we put tariffs on
Carney's face.
Cars from Canada, and at a certain point, it won't make economic sense for Canada to build those cars. And we don't want steel from Canada because we're making our own steel, and we're having massive steel plants being built right now as we speak. We really don't want Canadian steel, and we don't want Canadian aluminum and various other things because we want to be able to do it ourselves. And
Look at Carney's face. Carney knows that is not feasible for America. With America's size and population, they cannot do it internally. It's a pipe dream. Even Ben Shapiro knows that.
Because of past thinking of people, we have a tremendous deficit with Canada. In other words, they have a surplus with us. And there's no reason for us to be subsidizing Canada. Canada's a place that we'll have to be able to...
Canada has been picking up after America's messes since World War II, if not longer.
Take care of itself economically. I assume they can. I will tell you that Trudeau, when I spoke to him, I used to call him Governor Trudeau. I think that probably didn't help his election, but when I spoke to him...
He didn't run, you dumb motherfucker! It didn't help the election. He wasn't in. What the fuck?
So why are we taking your cars? Why are we taking your... We want to make them ourselves. I mean, I said, and...
Then do that. There's a way to do that, and that you build the infrastructure and then you shift it over. You don't fucking cut the tree down before you harvest your apples, you goddamn brainlet.
The price of your cars went up, or if we put a tariff on your cars of 25%.
He doesn't get it. It's not a tariff on Canadian cars. Canada doesn't have a fucking... Canada has a massive automotive industry. Massive. There is no Canadian car. Canada does not have a car brand. It doesn't exist. There is not a single brand of car that is a Canadian car brand. We do the construction, we do the manufacturing of cars for other companies, none of which are Canadian companies. Good fucking God, man. What are you talking about? Steel plants don't produce steel. They use steel to manufacture. Yeah, listen, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're not buying Canadian cars, you're buying American cars where part of the manufacturing is done in Canada. Ford, Toyota, fucking GM, Dodge, all of the, even like fucking Hyundai, Subaru. I worked at a fucking automotive plant.
5%. What would that mean to you? He said that would mean the end of Canada. He actually said that to me. And I said...
Carney, sure, Jan. That's what that face is. Nobody believes you, Trump. I don't believe that for a second.
That's a strange answer, but I understand his answer. But no, I mean, it's hard to justify subsidizing Canada to the tune of maybe $200 billion a year.
Carney's just like, no, fam.
Protect Canada militarily, and we always will. What are we gonna do?
He's just trying to wait to let him finish.
You know, that's not a money thing. But we always will. But, you know, it's not fair. But why are we subsidizing Canada $200 billion a year, or whatever the number might be? It's a very substantial number. And it's hard for the American taxpayer to say, gee whiz, we love doing that. Thank you very much. We're going to have a very substantial... Thank you. Thank you very much.
And then they cut him off. They cut it off so that Carney doesn't answer that, which is probably for the best. I think that he just said, no, we're good. And I might be wrong, but I think he was talking to Marco Rubio. That's the direction that so Marco's down here and JD Vance is up here, and he just looked over there to be like, no, we're good. And I could be wrong, this is just my interpretation, but I think Marco Rubio just heard everything Trump said and just started sinking back into his chair like he did with Zelensky and was just like, you okay? And he's like, oh, we're good, it's fine. Fucking Lutnick down here too. I like her. She's great. I forget her name. She's the French lady. She's the ambassador right now. She's fantastic. sorry, I muted myself. So that's it. That's the end. It kind of ended unceremoniously. There's gonna be a lot of analysis out there that exists about this. Like, fucking Canada's not for sale. Fucking Mark Carney on the fucking shit. Fucking CNN did a breakdown with, I believe, Andrew Chang, if I'm remembering correctly, where they did a breakdown, which I recommend checking out if you're interested. Joel, yes. Yeah, that's her there, right? That's her there at the end, right? On the left? That's her? I believe so. I like her so far. I haven't seen anything from her that I dislike. But, I mean, I guess we'll see where this goes. This is about what I expected. I think there were more underhanded comments from Carney than I think I have seen from any other leader. That was for the Canadians. I think at this point, Canada and most Canadians assume that Americans that follow Trump are too stupid to notice that Trump was being insulted multiple times. And I think that's gonna be the vibe. It's gonna be the vibe of Carney being like, and then doing whatever he wants anyway. Smile, nod, and then do whatever the fuck you were gonna do in the first place. And I think that's about what is gonna happen. Marco Rubio's face looks like it's gonna drop off. Yeah, like, Marco Rubio is not okay. Look at Trump's not okay. Yeah, see, he's like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. I just want to look at the people. Oh, Marco Rubio's face is just like... Oh, here, look at this shit. Look at his face! Oh, Trump's face. Fucking JD Vance is too stupid to know what's going on. These guys are on the same page. Marco's like, we're so cooked, bro. Marco knows we're cooked. Trump looks like a fucking toddler that shit his pants. JD Vance is like, I like how different the right side looks from the left side. Look how fugly everything is. This fucking gaudy ass fucking... This looks like a movie set. It doesn't look like... What the fuck? Ugh, whatever. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know when the next one of these is gonna be. I do know the National Post asked a really fucking stupid question about whether or not you ensured that Donald Trump knew about the 51st state thing, when obviously went over it a couple of times. It's dumb as fuck, but... Anyway, I'm gonna get on out of here. I'm gonna finish drinking this and make myself feel better. Coping with... Canada, I think, is looking towards an economic boom. Australia, congratulations on Australia in taking our side, following along with doing the same kind of thing we're doing. I approve. As for America, consider becoming a prepper, because the next 50 years in America is going to be something to see. I might still be alive in 50 years to see what happens. We'll see. Oh, brother! America's so cooked, man. They're so roasty toasty, dude. They don't... Oh my god. Good luck, guys. Stay safe out there. 1 year up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna be back tomorrow. We're gonna talk about Jordan Peterson a little bit. It's gonna be bad. I hate it. Maybe I should save that, actually. Maybe I should not stream on Fridays. You know what? We're gonna save Jordan Peterson for Monday. You know what? We're gonna save Jordan Peterson for Tuesday, because even I don't deserve to deal with Jordan Peterson on a Monday. And we're gonna do the second half of Steve's stream, MAGA stream, on Wednesday. Maybe. That might be on Thursday. Dapper has a special on Wednesday, so I don't know when that's starting. But anyway, I'm getting out of here. Bye! Holy fucking shit, dude.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.
Trump has got to be one of the most rambly, word salady, saying absolutely nothing pieces of shit I have ever had the displeasure of listening to.
All right, Europe, World War III is happening. What do we do?
Okay, first things first, let's take over India. The hell? Well, I have just one idea. Have we considered calling them?
Please don't call them.
Oh, hey there, guys. We got your text. We're excited to show the difference between nice and polite. Hello, Canada. Please remember Geneva's list this time. Oh, Geneva, that sweet girl. Last time we were here, we checked off everything on her list. They actually added more because we were doing so good. No, that's not the idea. Or bad. I guess this time we'll just have to come up with some creative workarounds. Please, that's not what we mean. 9. Let the man cook. Okay, first question. If we poison all their food, but it's with a naturally occurring bacteria, does that count as a... Glad they're on our sides this time.